This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 537.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. Hello, everybody. This is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. We have one event next week. We have WordCamp Europe in Torino, Italy, in case you didn't know where that was. That's pretty cool. And yeah, if you're in the area, by all means, you should go. You know what? I haven't heard from anybody yet to say, hey, Adam, go to this camp, go to that camp. So I'm just going to go. Yeah, that's it. I'm just going to be there. Yeah, I wish it'd be awesome. Just show up. Anyway, so that's going to be there. Also, in regards to that WordCamp, there is going to be at the conference, it's going to conclude with a mid-year project update from WordPress co-founder Matt Mullenweg, including a live Q&A session, kind of like the State of the Word. So that'll be live streamed on June 15th. There's a link in the show notes where it is on the YouTube channel, 2:30 p.m. UTC. So also, if you want, you can submit your questions ahead of time. I'll put a link in the show notes there as well. So again, that is going to be on the 15th, the last day of the WordCamp at 2:30 p.m. UTC. So 4:30 p.m. Central European Summertime. I didn't know that was a thing. Anyway, so there you go. So that'd be cool. Maybe I'll send in a question. Okay. All right, moving on. Segment 1 in the news. A couple things here. First and foremost, WordPress 6.5.4 maintenance release was pushed out a few days back, and that's pretty cool. It's a minor release. It features 5 bug fixes in core, and it is known as a short cycle release because the next major release will be version 6.6, which is planned for July 2024, which is like a month away. Leading me to the next piece of the news, WordPress 6.6 Beta 1 is now available for testing. So there you go. If you're in that camp of testing things, you should go grab it. Don't do it on a live server. Use a dev server, etc. So that is it, I think, in the news. Yeah, that's it in the news. Moving on to segment 2, the meat potatoes of this week's episode. Yep, it is that time again. I'm doing the annual mid-year review because in a blink of an eye, 6 months have passed. We are already in the first week plus a few days when this episode comes out of the year, June. So, which is crazy. The new year is right around the corner. As crazy as that sounds, in 6 months, we will be in 2025. So here are 5 areas that I'd recommend taking some time and looking into a review, if you will, the mid-year review. And I'll talk about what I did with this and how I'm doing as well at the end of this. First and foremost, analyze your financial statements. Income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. You need to understand where things are at, your profitability, your cash flow trends. Compare these figures with your budget and projections from the end of last year or this time last year, because you want to see and identify any of the variances that may be happening, because without the knowledge, you can't make solid decisions. Once you've done that, number 2 is to review those key performance indicators, those KPIs, your sales growth, your customer acquisition, the customer acquisition cost, customer retention rate, and as well as any churn from clients as well. This helps you, again, understand where the business stands in relation to your goals, okay? And then in this area as well, you want to adjust the strategies. Based on the performance review that I just mentioned, you want to maybe tweak your marketing, spend more, spend less. How are sales doing? Any operational strategies that you need to address or maybe redefine. This also might include just changing things altogether, reevaluate how you approach sales, optimize the leads that you're getting in that process, maybe automate some things, okay? So, and also it's just a good time to maybe stop doing certain things. Even though you may have already spent the money on something, sometimes what's that known as? It's known as the sunken cost fallacy, I believe, where we still have value in something that we're doing that we shouldn't be doing. I mean, I'm guilty of it. That's for dang sure. I mean, I know that for sure. So anyway, it's kind of embarrassing to say that, but it's true. So it might be time to adjust the strategies based on those 2 things above. Okay. If you have employees, it's a good time also to do a performance review. Maybe conduct that time, review with your team, recognize their achievements, provide feedback, set some new goals for the remainder of the year. This will keep your team motivated and aligned with the business objectives overall, right? Even if they're not full-time employees, it's still good to have that with contractors, because you want to make sure that people are on the same page and kind of prepare for that for the next 6 months. And lastly, and this one I always tell people, I think this all the time, you're going to want to prepare for seasonality, because and what we do, especially as WordPress business owners, the end of the year, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's a big deal for plugins, for themes, for any of that kind of thing. But you're going to want to plan for the second half of the year. Adjust, your time, your calendar, ramp up marketing, just get those pages built for any offers you might be offering people, clients and whatnot, and services. And or if you need to support your clients who do that, prepare for that as well. Who's going to be on hand to take care of those things? As I do my best to be transparent, I did take some time here and looked at that list I just mentioned above, and my situation's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great, and everyone's situation is different. And taking into consideration my choice earlier this year to work on a new idea, which is your pulse monitor, because I stopped prospecting for 6 months. I decided January 1 through June, I would stop kind of prospecting from that perspective. We would take client work that we already had. We would take things that came in on its own, we being the team, but I was not doing I wasn't doing the sales the same level I was in the past. So to be honest, my numbers are down. My growth is down, obviously. I gave those 6 months and it's not going well. And why isn't it going well? Well, I'm not doing the sales. It's part of it, obviously. The other part of it is, as far as the choices I made to work on this new project, well, life happens. Training for my running, whatever, my parents, just life is life. So again, it's time to take that in consideration, figure out what's the next step for myself, for yourself, for your company, for my company. So how's it going for you? I'm curious. You want to share? By all means, let me know. You want to give some feedback? Love to get your story on it as well. If you have anything else that you're looking at from a category thing. So again, number 1, analyze your financial statements. Number 2, review the KPIs. 3, adjust. If you have employees, it's time to do a review, full-time or contractors. I think it's important from both. And you want to prepare for what's going to happen inevitably in about 3 to 4 months from now. The seasons are going to change, the holidays, sales, etc. There you go. It's 6 months. It doesn't get any shorter. The time just keeps going right on by. So there you go. All right, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This week's tip is Gravity Perks. Gravity Perks, I've mentioned, I think, in the past, but I want to mention a specific thing here. So Gravity Perks is a premium add-on to Gravity Forms. In this case, I want to mention the Nested Forms add-on. This perk, this add-on to Gravity Forms with Gravity Perks is amazing. It lets you do like repeater fields. Really cool. And I got it working for a project I'm working on over for runadam.run, actually. I'm doing a little thing where I need to have multiple entries. It's kind of weird to explain, but it works really well. So check it out. Gravity Perks, Nested Forms add-on. I'll put a link in the show notes. I have no connection to them. Just want to share it as a cool tip and tool. So there's the tool for you. All right, we'll wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@kitchensinkwp.com, or use that speak pipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, become a Patreon. I would love that. You can also buy me a coffee. And if you really want to, you can sponsor the show. There's a form on the website. Fill it out. I'll get right back to you. Thanks for listening. Now go out and I'll see you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right. Bye-bye.